everyone. My name's Lou Zoanetti. I'm the Graduate Program Manager at Ability Action Australia. It's lovely to be here in my bedroom here in Melbourne. Obviously, we're all working still at home here in Melbourne. Got the family doing homeschool and my husband in the other room. So we're just trying to make all of this work. It's really lovely to be here to talk about Ability Action Australia's brand new graduate program. As I said, my name's Lou. I am an early careers specialist and I have been brought on board to work with Ability Action to actually design a custom-built graduate-led grad program. So we've actually built a program for next year that has been designed by the graduates. So we have graduates in our business already, and we've hosted a number of design workshops with them to really build a program that sets grads up for success from day one and actually builds on the already amazing onboarding program that we have at AAA, which is called Ready for Action. So it's really exciting to be here to share the details of our new program. I'm going to share my screen and I'll tell you a little bit about Ability Action as a starting point. So we are a fairly new organisation. We were established in the start of last year, in January last year, as a new provider for in the NDIS space, working with NDIS participants in Allied Health clinical streams. Our business is backed by a large multinational known as MedHealth. So we've got this great situation with our organisation where Ability Action Australia is really young as a company. It's got a really young, vibrant startup vibe. Most people that have joined Ability Action are new because we've only been around for 18 months. So we've got this great culture where we're all developing the business together. But we have the benefit of being backed by a large company that has a multitude of other brands. So what that means for people that join Ability Action is that their career can there's a lot of career opportunity within the family. So it means that when you start working with us, there's other avenues for you to go to in the broader MedHealth brand. So we provide dedicated, fast, tailored assessment therapy services to people with disabilities. We're based in New South Wales, Queensland, Victoria, Tasmania, South Australia, Western Australia, and the ACT. We are also, I do know that some people on the call may be from New Zealand. We're also really open to having conversations with our New Zealand candidates about moving to Australia for a job here with Ability Action Australia. So as a new business, our main purpose is to support our NDIS participants to get more out of their lives today. And that's really done through our key values of simplicity, and that means making it simple for people to access our services, easy for them to interact with us, easy for parents to interact with us and carers, and making the process of engaging with our business as simple as it possibly can be. For our staff, we also want to have a process that's easy for them to work within, so they're enabled to do their jobs to the best of their abilities. They're supported to do that, and it is a simple process for them to undertake. Our next value is tenacity. So we pride ourselves on doing things a little bit differently at AAA. We want people who work for our organisation that want to try new things and also take on things with a bit of grit and determination to make the biggest impact to people that we're working with on our programs. We also have a huge focus on collaboration. So being a fairly new business, culture is extremely important to us to make sure that we have the right people working for Ability Action and also working to serve the clients that we have, or the participants that we have that are undertaking our services, and we're providing them with the most appropriate care, and we do that in a collaborative way, linking in all the different services that we provide. We're a trust-based organisation, so we want to build trust within our staff as an employer of choice, but also a trust with working with our participants that we serve, that we are a trusted partner in their disability support or health journey, and they feel like we are part of their broader community of support. Our goals and objectives at AAA are really to stand out from the crowd around being an employer of choice for allied health clinicians. So really trying to do things in a really different way that really listens to what our staff are looking for from their careers as allied health professionals. As I said, you know, even having someone like me who's more of a grad program expert, I am not an allied health professional. That's probably coming through in some of the language that I'm using. I'm still learning about allied health, but rest assured our team is full of allied health professionals who know exactly what they're doing with that sort of side of things. And with me, it's more about building a great graduate program experience. We're also building a brand new student placement program. So if there are students on the call that are interested in doing placements with us, we are definitely focused on that for next year as well. And really being focused on, you know, building our brand in the student market to be an employer of choice. We're also focused on developing meaningful partnerships with our participants to help them get more out of their life today. We are genuine about that commitment as an organisation, and that's why we have such a strong team, because we all have the same vision to support people with disability to get more out of their life. And the last point is really creating an unparalleled industry-leading learning program so that people who come and work for AAA are really supported in their roles. They have good scaffolding behind them, so they are confident and capable clinicians going out and serving our participants, and actually have the support, the mentoring, the buddy systems behind them to provide them with multi-layered support as you need it. So in terms of our graduate program for next year, as I said, it's brand new. It's been designed to start in January, and we will be having 4 intakes for our graduate program next year, just to capture as many grads as possible, you know, who may want to have a bit of a break after university and then join us maybe in April next year, or August, or sort of October. But our first grad program is opening in January next year, and it is action-packed. And to that point, I have my prop here, which everyone loves, which is my son's Spider-Man. No, not Spider-Man. Who is he? Superman cape, which I'm going to put on now, just to give a bit of a point of difference. I had to add a ribbon because his neck circumference is slightly smaller than mine. I've got my action-packed hood on here, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about our graduate program. So the first part of our program is that it's action-packed with support. The whole program is designed around providing a very structured 6-week onboarding process called Ready for Action. We already have that in our business. Everyone that joins our organisation goes through the Ready for Action program. It's designed and tailored to set you up for success, build your confidence in your role, and make sure that you've got everything you need to be confidently rolling off induction and starting to work with participants. We also have a dedicated mentor, so a senior clinician that will help you find your feet, develop your clinical skills, achieve your career goals, someone who's personally invested in making sure that you have what you need to do your job to the best of your ability, and to support you for whatever development that you might have. Your mentor can also provide emotional support, you know, for some trickier cases, or just for those situations where you need to debrief on a particular, you know, situation that's going on at work or with a patient. So that's there to help you as well. We also, sorry, I'll just go back. We also have a buddy system. So we're working with our current graduates to provide support to our new graduates. So you've got that sort of peer support, and then also providing some dedicated NDIS training and support to take the hassle out of things like report writing that, you know, might be a bit challenging for people as they try and, you know, transition from study into work for the first time. So we're packed with support, we're packed with development. Our program is designed to give you consistent and constant opportunities to learn throughout your career, to tailor to your interests and work on your long-term goals. So we have designed a program where ideally we would like our grads to experience 6 clinical streams that will be flexible depending on the needs of the particular area that people are joining Ability Action, so the region that they're going into, and also looking at people's interests that they have as well. And so we ideally want people to have exposure across these key clinical streams so that you can experience everything in that first year of being a clinician to then set you up for success for the rest of your career, to say, yeah, this is where I want to, this is what I'm really interested in, where I'd like to sort of focus my career. We're focused on providing upskilling opportunities. We're focused on CPD training, both in-house and external, and we've got a generous CPD allowance for external training, but we also run a lot of sessions internally for people to tap into. We have a great history at AAA, only been around for 18 months, but already we're seeing people take up leadership opportunities within our business. So if you feel like that might be the right career for you, where you want to go into a leadership role, people are certainly supported to go through that pathway. And so we've already seen internal promotion happen quite a lot at AAA. We're also focused on professional development. So some of the more, what we would call in the grad world of soft skills or, employability skills, but also those critical skills that you need when you work with people day in and day out. So, it might be communication skills, it might be, dealing with conflict, or it might be, confidence in, report writing, or whatever that might be. And so we have the backing of MedHealth and our full academy to help support you in that way. Our program is packed with benefits. So we have a market-leading remuneration package. It is actually stated on the Grad Australia website what that is. So if you'd like to have a look, you can. So we have a great base package, and then we've got additional remuneration and incentives on top of that. The idea behind our remuneration structure is that we acknowledge that this industry is really, there's a lot of demand for the talent that's out there and on the call today. And so we're recognising that and making sure that not only do we provide, great support and great structure and a great organisation, we actually also back it up by paying well for people to join our grad program. We create a flexible environment. I think that's pretty standard these days. I heard some of the other people talk about it too. We stand by that. We are fully committed to a flexible work environment, provide support for people with car allowances, phones, all of that sort of stuff. So that's a little bit about our benefits. And finally, packed with enjoyment. So honestly, I've been with AAA myself for 3 months. It's a hugely positive and supportive, collaborative environment. People genuinely care about each other, genuinely love working for the organisation. We develop close relationships with each other based on trust, support and empowerment. We genuinely care about people coming to work as they are and being welcome to work as they are. A good example to that is when I joined AAA, I had bright pink hair, like I've got some nail polish here, like it was so bright. I mean, Shek's probably like, yeah, Lou, it was pretty bright back when I first met you. It was so neon pink, and I just was like, oh, it kind of was a bit of a dodgy hair dye job, and I was like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? But it's just the smallest example of how it just didn't matter in terms of just being myself at work, feeling that I could just present myself as I was, and that I was genuinely welcome to the family, so to speak. We have lots of great events. Last week we had the wonderful Turia Pitt come and talk to our staff. We invited grads to come and hear her speak. She's an amazing motivational speaker. So we've got another event today actually for our staff with one of the Paralympians. So there's lots of opportunities to have social get-togethers, but also some more, I guess, learning opportunities for us all. Finally, I just want to tell you about our recruitment process. I've got another prop, so you're going to love it. It's a unicorn. It's a unicorn headband. It's my daughter's, so you'll love that, because this is about finding the unicorns out there that want to work at AAA. Everyone's welcome, but I just wanted to take you through our process. So we have tried to make our recruitment process as simple and easy as possible for people to go through and really feel like they're progressing quite quickly through the process. So we have applications are now open for our grad program starting next year. We have an application form. It's all on the Grad Australia and Grad New Zealand website. Our key streams for next year are occupational therapy, physiotherapy, speech pathology and exercise physiology. We're opening up for all streams for January next year. And the first step is that application form. If you don't have an up-to-date CV, it doesn't matter. We'll have a conversation with you. You can just send us an email or a note on LinkedIn and we can have those sorts of conversations. Within 2 days, we'll get on a phone call with you and have a chat to answer any questions you might have, and also to sort of progress you to the next stage, which is the interview, where you'll have an opportunity to speak to one of our senior leaders in the area that you might want to work, or the region that you want to work, and they'll have an opportunity to talk to you about your experience. So you might be able to tell us a little bit about your placement experience, or any skills that you are bringing to the role, but also skills that you might want to develop as well. We do some reference checks, and then it's on to offers, where we're really keen to lock in people for our grad program. We've got lots of spaces. We're hiring 68 on our grad program in January, so plenty of room for people. And we're also accepting applications for all of our grad programs starting next year. So we have programs starting in April and August, and also in October. So you're welcome to apply for those programs now to lock in your job at the end of graduation. Finally, if you're not successful, we commit to giving feedback to everyone. We're really focused on giving back to this industry and setting our students and graduates up for success. So finally, I just wanted to share, applications are now open. There's a QR code there that will take you straight to our application form if you're ready to go. It's as simple as just filling it out, and then we'll start the conversation and see where we can fit you in. So it's been lovely to share that with you. If you've got any questions for the Superman, what am I, a unicorn, I'm ready to hear them. Thanks, Jack.
Thanks, Lee. That was very entertaining as well. I think that's probably the correct word to use. I've never been to a webinar and watched a movie at the same time, so I'll tick that one off the bucket list.
I loved it. It was great. So good.
That's awesome. Actually, I have a question that I've noticed, because I've worked with Lou for the students here for a little while now, and we talk a lot about the career opportunities and that sort of thing. Can you share with us a story about career progression from like a graduate's perspective, what that might look like in Ability Action?
Yes. So what I'd like to do, I can see Renee's on the call. There she is. So Renee's on the call. She's our Clinical Excellence Manager. She's here to help me with these challenging questions that you might have. So I'll hand over to Renee to answer that one.
So I'll just clarify the question. It was about someone who had demonstrated career progression. Is that right?
Yeah, or like an example, probably a better way to position it, of career progression with a graduate or someone new within the organization, what that might look like.
Yeah, sure. So good afternoon to everyone. Just a bit of background. I am an OT by background. That's where I started my career. I'm now the Clinical Excellence Manager, and that involves working with pretty much all of our allied health professionals in the organisation. So I guess there's a couple of ways that people can progress their career. There's a very traditional way, which is the path that the majority of clinicians probably take, which is that when you come to us as a new grad, obviously as Lou's outlined, there's a lot of opportunity for learning and development, in order to be able to do your clinical work and to become a competent and confident therapist or clinician. And so for some people, it really is about developing their skills and becoming, perhaps an expert or in a specialist area. And so that might be one career path that people take, is really thinking that over a period of time, they will develop skills and they would prefer to work in a particular area and, be very centered around that type of work. So there's opportunities to do that. And as they go through that process, they might graduate from being obviously a new graduate to an early career therapist to a senior, and then a team leader, and that might be around developing a specialty skill set. We also have that traditional sort of path that I've just described at a more general level, where for people who may have broader interests in terms of the participants that they're dealing with, but will choose to progress in that way and become, go up that ladder of becoming a senior and then a team leader. And obviously, as they do that, taking on more responsibility for different aspects of the business as well as the clinical role. So that might involve, first of all, providing supervision to more junior staff members. It might be about actually having staff members that report to them. It might be about coordinating a project or something within their team, or those sorts of things. But then there's also other areas that there's opportunities for development in as well. My team, for instance, are made up of all made up of clinicians. Actually, just did the mental checklist there. They're all clinicians by background, but their roles are non-clinical, but we provide a support system to the operational clinical staff. So we do that through quality assurance checks or providing training and development and learning and development to people in particular areas, such as, we have a clinical lead in the pediatric area, for instance, whose role she is a pediatric therapist, but her role now is more, she's not going to be as involved with participants directly, but her role more is about developing the other staff and helping them to learn all that she's learned over the last period of time in her career. So there's a few directions that people can go. I guess the most traditional probably is sort of up that very clear ladder of becoming more experienced, taking on some management responsibilities, and then ultimately becoming a team leader. And in fact, it doesn't even have to stop there. All of our business partners, or most of our business partners, have allied health backgrounds. So there's opportunities to work all the way up through the management. Obviously, being here for 18 months, we haven't seen someone go right from the bottom to the top yet. but those positions all exist, and we certainly have already, as Lou outlined, a history of people moving up, even in the short time we've been around.
Oh, beautiful. No, thank you for sharing that as well. It's always interesting to hear that there's so much career progression, and it's great to hear stories of what that might look like, whether that's in a specific role, whether that's physiotherapist or an OT, or the other route, whether it's through the participants as well, which is great. But thank you very much for all sharing. I'm sure we're all very much entertained, and it was very informative as well. So you can take your cape off now and rest easy for the day.
Things staying on all
Keep it
day.
on all day. What are you talking about?
Thanks so much for coming on, Lou and Renee. Really appreciate your insights.
Thank you, guys. Thanks. That was great.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
All right, see you guys.
Bye.